love the windows on those. Today on Car Traction, you join me at the Midway Truck Stop, and as you can see, there's a contingent of classic and vintage lorries turning up, as I think they're having a sort of breakfast meeting here, going for a little drive. We're here in the trusty 47 Dodge pickups, and today's video there'll be a variety of things: cars, motorbikes and trucks. There's actually quite a few things here. I think the main attraction of the day will be the vintage lorries, so yeah, let's just see what's turned up so far. While there's a slight break in the steady stream of arrivals, let's have a look at this fantastic pair of old trucks. First up in today's walk around is this absolutely gorgeous Foden diesel, and the first thing I'm attracted to on this old truck is this wonderful quick release. I don't know whether it would be a fuel filler cap there, but whatever it is, a very nice quick release cap there. More of a sort of racing fitting, like a sort of vintage racing car fitting, that one. There's something quite old coming in. I can't tell what it is from here, but perhaps an ERF or a guy or something. All these trucks are mixing it in with the modern trucks, as it is an active sort of lorry park, this, but just for the day it's being partially invaded by all these vintage trucks, which is great to see, because these are the sort of environments they would have been operating in when they were new. This is a beautifully restored Foden diesel truck here. It's always hard filming the interiors of old lorries. And look at this, an absolutely spectacular Kenworth here, obviously an American truck, huge powerful diesel engine, more of a sort of long distance thing. These sort of things I think are still being used in sort of Australia, with about 15 million trailers towed behind them, because they're so powerful and probably quite reliable. The Cummins diesel engines in these, many cylinders I'm sure, I'm not sure but exactly how much, but I'm sure that's got, yeah, there are quite a few motorbikes around today, as you can hear. Sunday morning, it's attracting all enthusiasts of 2 wheels, 4 wheels and 6 or 8 or how many these things have. But yeah, I wonder how many litres that Kenworth has, because I imagine it would be quite a few. But yeah, really cool start to today's little, sort of quite an unofficial classic lorry meeting. A regular attendee to the classic lorry meetings at the Midway Truck Stop is this one here, the G-Plant Aston Nantwich liveried ERF. Quite an unusual truck, this one, because you do see quite a few of these sort of fronted ERFs like that, but the wood effect is also quite eye-catching, but you don't see many with the sort of original refrigerated body on the back, mostly because it's probably pretty impractical for a sort of vintage light use. It takes up a lot more space obviously than just if you had the cab. But no, it's great to see it in its sort of original guise, how it would have been seen when it was new with the refrigerated back, so that's pretty cool. Next to that is the bright blue Albion. Certainly an eye-catching livery on these. One thing you notice about a lot of these vintage lorries is that they're all beautifully sign written, all different names and colours, but they're all in a similar vintage style of text and font and graphics. There's certainly one eye-catching livery on the Albion. I like how the Albion badge, I think their nickname was as sure as the sunrise, because you can see how it's sort of, the badge sort of imitates a sunrise, but I don't think I've seen it in that colour scheme, so that's maybe an adapted custom badge in blue and silver to match the rest of the blue livery on this Albion. So yeah, nice little lorry, little and large. Looks like this is the main lineup with a set of 4 lorries all in the same livery. So what else is there? Got the ERF. Now that seems to be a similar front to the refrigerator backed ERF, but this one a much shorter wheelbase affair. Gardner 180 diesel engine. I think they had quite a good reputation back in the day, the Gardner diesel engines. I quite like that actually. Quite a cool looking little short wheelbase truck there. And surely it's got to be great visibility out of this, the AEC Mandator. This one with an articulated trailer, one of the more unusual fittings you see. As I said, most people just run the actual cab sort of lorry unit themselves. I'm using some very, very probably sus vocabulary to the lorry people watching. That's a nice filler cap. But yeah, it's not often that you actually see the sort of old trailers on the back, because if you think about it, it takes up so much more space in one's probably hangar for this sort of thing. But it certainly does look the parts, it looks more original. Beautifully sign written, even the trailer. I like these little, almost like a parking lamp, but just on the left side, markers along the side. Another beautifully restored lorry. That's an ERF EC14 there, sort of 1980s, 1990s era lorry, much more newer. Certainly quite eye-catching in yellow. yeah, they're all beautifully restored, these vintage lorries. The sort of time that it must take to restore something like these must be, you know, it must take quite a long time. You can see the engine is actually mounted underneath the cab, so in this sort of truck the cab would sort of tilt forward like that, and then you can, you know, tinker on your engine. Quite a clever design, because before this all the lorries, like the Kenworth we saw earlier, had to have sort of big front, almost like our pickup actually, they had to have a big sort of cone coming out the front where the engine would be housed, but with this, with the sort of cab being able to tilt forwards and sat right on the engine, it saves a lot of space. And here are, it's WF Head and Sons, these are 4 lorries all painted up beautifully in the same-ish livery for the same company. I know that a lot of sort of modern haulage companies that operate modern lorries do invest in sort of buying the more classic era lorries for promotional things, so maybe that's what's gone on here. This looks to be the older pair out of the lot, the Bedford there, and the oldest is the Guy here, the Guy Big J4T. Yeah, they certainly look the part, sort of evolution in lorry design from the, what is F-Reg, 1970s up to probably the 1990s with the DAF and ERF on the end there. They certainly do look quite smart all together in the same livery, and also most likely from the 1990s is this Volvo, I think owned by the organiser of today's meetup. Now I think I mentioned in this video's introduction that a nice old Honda there, 1970 motorbike, and there's the pickup. You see, among all these modern bikes, that's quite a serious looking Peugeot. Among all the modern bikes, which are probably still great fun to ride, you do find a few older ones. This is one of the modern lorries that looks like it's going to be on its way soon, so I'll stay out of the way. That's a left-hand drive on actually, so that's probably come from another country. But yeah, I mentioned in the introduction that I like the look of the glass on these Atkinsons, and it's quite a distinctive thing I think with Atkinsons. Beautifully curved glass around the cab area of the truck. It's just really beautiful looking truck, I think that. Very nicely liveried as well. And once again, that's just the sort of one cab unit, no articulated trailers or fixed trailers on the back of that for transporting things. It's all just the truck itself, which is a lot more practical to use, to be honest. I also quite like this bar on the front painted in the stripes. And this is an unusual one, is it maybe a Leyland or something? I'm really not that good with old lorries. Cars are my thing, really. So this is another, I suppose both of these are actually cab over style trucks. You can see the radiators just there, so the engine's underneath the driver's compartment. But I think that's, it says Boxer turbos, perhaps a Boxer denoting a flat, maybe like a flat 6 engine or something, probably most likely diesel, as opposed to the cylinders being upright. They're going like that instead. Either way, turbocharged, probably most of these. Well, I suppose some of them might not be. The older trucks might not be turbocharged, but the newer ones probably will be. But yeah, not exactly sure what that one is, but I think it's probably a Leyland. Another old AEC turning up. Long wheelbase flatbed. An AEC Marshall, that one is, looking quite similar to the Matador we saw earlier. I spied, I think, a beautiful old vintage bus on its way in. Should appear on the dual carriageway. I think it's an Austin, that one. Lovely. There goes the beautiful Austin coach. I think that's probably my new favourite. The lovely AEC Marshall is parked up over here now. And when it sort of accelerated away, this one was shuffling around a little bit to find a space earlier. Sounded absolutely sweet as a nut, this thing did. Lovely gear whine, diesel engine, just absolutely great. 1960s, 70s era classic lorry here. Probably quite usable, having a huge visibility, but actually no, not as storable as some other trucks today due to the flatbed body on this particular vintage lorry. But it is absolutely lovely. You know, because this thing's so sort of unusable and large, they're really quite affordable if you have the space to store something like this. But, you know, it looked and sounded like it drove absolutely lovely. Really, really nice old truck that. I do like that. Once again, an impeccable livery. And I know there'll be a large majority, probably of classic car people watching today's video. And, well, here's something for all of you and here's something for me now. not a TR5. This is an American spec Triumph TR5, so they're badged up as a Triumph TR250. This one, so there was the Michelotti designed UK market TR5, which is a 2.5 litre, I think, straight six engine which was an injected system. The American car is slightly altered, and this is badged up as a TR250, so it's an original American market car that's since been imported back to the UK, but these were running on carburetors instead of the injection system, and I think the injection system can be a little bit on and offy, and when it's not absolutely bang on, you know, it's a little bit of a pain to sort out, so quite a few people actually prefer these Triumph TR250 variants of the TR5 shape, because carburetors, you can sort of fiddle with them a lot more, and it's a lot easier to fiddle with them as, you know, sort of electronic is a little bit more on and offy, if you know what I mean when I'm talking about the Lucas PI injection system. Being an American market car, this originally would have been left-hand drive, but it's since been converted, we can tell, to a right-hand drive configuration for use in the UK. It's a lovely, lovely classic sports car with a lovely sounding straight six engine, I'm sure. There's another oldish lorry turning up for today's meeting. Couple more ERFs rolling in now. At a guess, I'd say these are the 1980s era of lorries. Right now, it might be a little bit hard to see due to the low sun, but this is probably my favourite pair of today's things that are turned up. And this is just absolutely gorgeous. The Plaxton coach body. So Plaxton was like, let's do this in a methodical way. So you probably bought this if you wanted to make a coach as an Austin sort of chassis and engine, and then the Plaxton coaches would have made this beautiful, really absolutely gorgeous body, and you would have sent off the chassis, and then it would have come back looking a little bit like this, and then you would have got it liveried. But what an absolutely gorgeous old vintage coach that is. A Plaxton bodied Austin, like a K4, it could be a K anything to be honest, K3, K4, K2, I don't know, but it's a K something, and that's absolutely wonderful. I'd love to own something like that. 6-cylinder engine under the driver's compartment on this beautiful vintage coach. Just absolutely gorgeous design, and it's a size that means it's small enough that probably the average person with a slightly, maybe just above average size garage could store something like this, which is ideal. As a lot of the trucks today, you need a much larger storage unit to hold them, but this sort of thing is actually quite a manageable size. And yeah, I really, really do love that. And just next to that is probably my second favourite truck of the day. This is a 1944 Foden. Hard to get it all in shot from where I am. Absolutely gorgeous old truck, wartime. Similar era to the likes of Dad's two Dodge, well, we got the Dodge pickup today, which is 47, so that's 3 years, and to be honest, for 3 years the American stuff looks quite a bit more advanced and newer. This is still quite sort of agricultural and old-fashioned. The Americans were much further ahead of us in the 1930s and 40s in terms of truck and car design, to be honest. But, you know, that's got such a charm, hasn't it? 6 wheels, absolutely gorgeous. Got the fuel tank on the side. That's got to be one of my favourites from today's contingent. So that pair is probably my favourite pair of today's Midway Truck Stop classic lorry meeting. There are a few more slightly later era lorries here, 80s and 90s sort of things here, both ERF EC11s. Quite a jazzy livery on this one much more original. It's always interesting to see how different people either keep them original or customise them to make them their own. This one seems to be in its original livery, not quite sure what TDG was. And there's another EC11 ERF in a very jazzy livery. This modern lorry is having to file its way through all the pesky vintage lorries that have turned up today. Certainly a pretty good turnout, isn't it? Good weather always brings out a good turnout of anything, classic cars, motorbikes or lorries. I guess it'd be rude not to have at least a short look around some of the motorbikes and motorcycles that have turned up today. One of my favourites, even though it is a modern bike, is this Triumph Street Twin. I think that's got quite a cool stance. All sorts of motorbikes here today meeting up. One of the older bikes is getting plenty of attention. This absolutely stunning Honda 504. Absolutely mint chrome, incredible. Old. Now I think that is a Land Rover, but also it could be a Minerva, which is a Belgian-built licensed Land Rover, because the front of that is slightly different. I think that could actually be a Minerva. So, on first glance, Land Rover, but actually second glance, I think that's a Belgian special built. But just have a look. I appreciate not many people might be into motorbikes here, but isn't that absolutely gorgeous? A Honda 504. 4 denoting a 4-cylinder engine and 500 denoting 500cc, but that is absolutely immaculate. That is an unbelievable restoration. Look at all the chrome. Another classic car has turned up, this time an MGA Roadster. Quite an early little car, that one. In terms of MGA Roadsters, that's quite an early production one, that's what I meant. There's good variety of things turning up today. So much to see. So let's get a little look at this, what initially appears to be a Land Rover, but what I think is actually a Minerva. Need to look around the front of it. It is. Oh, I'm proud of that. That was pretty good spot, because to anyone that looks like a Land Rover, but no, a licensed Belgian-built version of a Land Rover, badged up as a Minerva. Dad's having a chat with the owner at the moment. I mean, you could be forgiven because it does look pretty much identical to a Series 1 Land Rover, but no, a Belgian-built under license Minerva, which is it's basically a Land Rover, but it's also kind of not. It's kind of just like a rebadged, slightly altered styling version, but that's such a rare thing. That's probably the only one of those I've ever seen. All the car shows I've been to, that's probably the only Minerva I've ever seen. Real rarity turned up. Certainly a fantastic turnout of classic lorries and vintage trucks at today's Midway Truck Stop vintage lorry meeting. There's so much to see here. Looking forward to capturing all these guys leaving, the sight and the sound of the old diesel and petrol, in some cases engines, in these vintage trucks. At the end of this video I'll link to a short onboard video where I got a ride on a 1965, I think, Leyland double-decker bus. Absolutely gorgeous sounding thing. Diesel engine, Gardner diesel engine, I think, but the gear whine is just a pleasure for the ears, and I'm sure many of these will be as well, so I'm looking forward to seeing them leaving. But yeah, if you want to whet your appetite even further after watching this video for vintage lorry sounds, then I'll link it at the end of this video. My ride, I think probably there's just at the start of this year actually, in a 1965 Leyland double-decker bus, and those are some shiny hubcaps. Wow, look at this old bike here. This is a Honda 554 this time, so just over there, over the barrier, is I think the 504, but this is a 554, so a 550cc engine, 4 cylinders. I mean, compared to what the British motorbike industry was making in the late 1960s, early 70s, this was miles ahead. It was all single or twin cylinder stuff, you know, no electric start, kick start on the British stuff, but these Japanese bikes just absolutely just killed the British bike market because they were just so much better. I mean, what a stunning paint job that is. Red lines at 9,500 revs. That's an unbelievably clean motorbike. Fantastic pair of vintage, so not vintage really, is it? Classic era Honda motorbikes there. Volvo F10 picking its way through the chaos. Just next to the Honda 504 we saw earlier is this absolutely huge bike, a Kawasaki Z900. This one, another full cylinder, double overhead cam, such an advanced and very large engine for a motorbike like that. Just incredible, those things. Over here we find an absolutely gorgeous BSA Trials bike, probably a 250 or 350 single. Little two-stroke by the sound of it. Fantastic 1950s, probably more likely 60s era two-stroke Trials bike. It sounds gorgeous. Single cylinder, AML carburettor, all British components. Sounds gorgeous though. That's a really healthy sounding two-stroke. If I stand here, I can really feel the sort of pressure of the exhaust fumes of it. You can tell that's got really sort of good compression, a really powerful engine actually. Just by the sound of it and the feel of it and the way it's sort of vibrating, that's how it'd actually be absolutely rapid, that bike. That's a really powerful engine and a very competitive Trials bike there. That is an absolutely stunning BSA Trials bike. That's probably one of the best sounding two-stroke engines I've ever heard. Actually, today is the very day that my video of the Tour of Cheshire Rally went live. Check out our channel homepage if you want to see this car and many other classic sports cars on the limit and beyond in some cases. It's a really fine looking sports car, that one. Looks like the quartet over there will be leaving soon. Well, as you can see, the car park here is no longer full of many vintage trucks. The wonderful refrigerator body ERF, no ERAs here today, is probably warming up to go. That's a fantastic old truck, that. I mean, yeah, there's still absolutely, actually the bikes are taking over some of the space that the trucks are previously in. There have been times on weekends, and they have a Thursday weekly meet here at the Midway Truck Stop, where literally all of this is just motorbikes. It's absolutely unbelievable. There's such a great community around here with all the motorbike lots. It is really good, but also, you know, I think every month they do this little truck meetup, and then they all go home, and then they have the Cheshire Run once a year, which is a much larger affair, and they all go, I think, on the Horseshoe Pass for a long drive together. But today they're just going back home, I think. But the pickup has actually attracted quite a bit of attention today. At the moment, touch wood, it seems to be running relatively well, and it's just such an eye-catching thing to take to these events. And yeah, if you enjoyed today's video, do let me know in the comments below. I need to remind Dad that we need to fill up this jerry can of petrol, because I had to transfer some of that into the tank, and about the whole jerry can of that is about half a tank on this, so I'll have to fill that up a little bit more when we leave. The ERF is off now. Such a stunning lorry, that. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you thought of this video. Subscribe, check out the channel homepage, and all that good stuff. Thanks for watching.